Hello students. Today we start the next point in your syllabus, that is the plant succession. The question on this point, that is the what is plant succession and give the causes of succession. So first of all you have to know about the succession. So this succession is a process in that development of new communities in an environmental area is called as a succession. Succession means there is the development of new community in environment. So the scientist Smith in 1945 defined succession as a orderly and progressive replacement of an community by another community till the development of stable community is at climax. तो साइंटिस्ट स्मिथ इन 1945 उन्होंने सक्सेशन की डेफिनेशन क्या बताई कि जो एक ऑर्डरली और प्रोग्रेसिवली चेंज होता है, एक जो वन कम्युनिटी इज़ रिप्लेस्ड बाय अनदर कम्युनिटी, एक कम्युनिटी की जगह पे दूसरी कम्युनिटी रिप्लेस हो जाती है और वहाँ पे एक स्टेबल कम्युनिटी तैयार होती है, दैट इज़ द क्लाइमैक्स, उसे हम सक्सेशन बोलते हैं. सो व्हाट आर द कैरेक्टर्स और फीचर्स ऑफ सक्सेशन? The first character of succession is it is directional process, it is predictable, and it is due to the modification of the physical environment. It increases the structural complexity, it increases the biodiversity like plants, animals and microorganisms. तो सक्सेशन के कैरेक्टर्स क्या हैं? तो ये जो सक्सेशन स्टेज है दैट इज़ द डायरेक्शनल प्रोसेस है और इसमें जो फिज़िकल एनवायरनमेंट है, फिज़िकल एनवायरनमेंट में कुछ मॉडिफिकेशन हो जाते हैं, उसकी वजह से सक्सेशन होता है. In the stage of succession, some structural complexity is observed, and due to the succession, the biodiversity will be increased in that plants, animals and microorganisms will be increased due to this succession. Also, due to the succession, some biomass are also increased. Biomass, that means the all mass of the और टोटल मास ऑफ द ऑल स्पेसीज, उसे हम बायोमास बोलते हैं. तो जब सक्सेशन होता है तो वहाँ पे जो बायोमास है, अल्टीमेटली बायोमास विल बी इंक्रीज. वहाँ जो प्लांट्स है, एनिमल्स है, माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स है, दे विल बी इंक्रीज. दैट्स वाई अल्टीमेटली द बायोमास ऑफ दिस एरिया विल बी इंक्रीज. Next is the causes of succession. So what are the causes of succession? So in that earthquakes, then landslides, glacier slides, volcanoes, soil erosion, then raining water, drought, etc. The factor causes the plant succession. Earthquake, as you know, in case of earthquake, there is the some changes are occurring in the below the soil. जो हमारा अर्थ है, अर्थ के ऊपर कुछ अर्थक्वेक की वजह से जो वहाँ के लेयर्स है, लेयर्स में चेंजेस हो जाते हैं और उसकी वजह से उसका डायरेक्टली अफेक्ट सक्सेशन और जो भी वहाँ बायोडाइवर्सिटी प्रेजेंट है उसके ऊपर हो जाता है. देन लैंडस्लाइडिंग है, जो ड्यू टू हाई रेनफॉल्स जो भी लैंड्स है, वो लैंड्स जो माउंटेन्स वगैरह है उसका स्लाइडिंग हो जाता है, वो गिर जाते हैं, वहाँ का जो बायोमास है वो पूरा डिस्टर्ब हो जाता है. फिर वहाँ जो न्यू उसके बाद वहाँ न्यू बायोडाइवर और न्यू प्लांट्स वहाँ पे फॉर्म हो जाते हैं, न्यू एनिमल्स हो फॉर्म। तो उसकी वजह से जो जो डाइवर्सिटी है, वहाँ का जो प्लांट्स वगैरह है वो सब डिस्टर्ब हो जाते हैं। ऑल्सो ग्लेशियर स्लाइड्स, दैट मीन्स आइस स्लाइडिंग, जो माउंटेन्स है जहाँ पे आइस रहता है, तो उसका आइस का स्लाइडिंग होके जो वाटर लेवल है, वाटर लेवल तक वो आइस स्लाइडिंग हो जाता है। उसकी वजह से वहाँ का जो एक्वाटिक लाइफ है, एक्वाटिक लाइफ विल बी डिस्टर्ब। ऑल्सो द volcanoes, as you know, volcanoes, then also soil erosions, then high rainfall or raining waters or in drought conditions. These are the factors which are affected the biodiversity of this area, and that's why ultimately the succession of this area will be disturbed. Then that is the topographical factors. Second factor is the biotic factors. In biotic factors, that means like mans, animals, plants, or microorganisms, pathogens, predators, then pollution, etc., may causes the plant succession. The biotic, that means the living factors, in that जो एनिमल्स है, मैन की और कुछ माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स है, पैथोजेंस है, प्रीडेटर्स है, उसकी वजह से जो सक्सेशन है, दिस सक्सेशन विल बी डिस्टर्ब और दे विल बी कॉजेस ऑन दिस सक्सेशन. देन थर्ड फैक्टर of causes of succession is the ecsesis or continuing factor. Ecsesis, that means the डेवलपमेंटल फैक्टर और कंटिन्यूइंग फैक्टर उससे हम बोल सकते हैं. तो डेवलपमेंटिंग फैक्टर में क्या है, माइग्रेशंस है. माइग्रेशंस दैट मीन्स जो बर्ड्स है, एनिमल्स है, यदि उनको फूड उस जगह पे यदि फूड उनको अवेलेबल नहीं होता है तो वो एक जगह से दूसरी जगह पे माइग्रेट हो जाते हैं, जहाँ पे उनको फूड वाटर जहाँ पे उनको अवेलेबल होगा वो वहाँ पे शिफ्ट हो जाते हैं. तो दैट इज़ द माइग्रेशन. सो माइग्रेशन इट इज़ वन पॉइंट विच अफेक्टेड द सक्सेशन. देन aggregations. In aggregations there is it is also one of the factor that will be causes the diversity of these plants. Then due to the competition in any regions, there is the competition between the plants or animals or any organisms. So due to this competition, some diversity will be affected. Due to one community, the other community will be affected. Due to this, the whole chain will be disturbed. Then the symbiosis. On this symbiosis, on these microorganisms, some plants are depend on these plants. The big plants, there is the small plant community is depending. So if the big plants are disturbed, ultimately where the symbiosis plants है, they will be also affected. For example, यदि हम कोई भी बिग ट्री लेते हैं, यदि हम मैंगो का ट्री लेते हैं तो मैंगो के ट्रीज पे कुछ जो बर्ड्स है, बर्ड्स डिपेंड्स है, कुछ स्मॉल जो grasses वगैरह है, that will also depend on this plant. So if this mango tree is cutting, the ultimately there will be affected the community of birds, community of small living plants. So this is the symbiosis effect. Then mutualism. In mutualism, that is the interactions between the two communities. That means if we see in the flowering plants, in flowering plants, some insects, some butterflies are depend on this flowering plant. That is the interaction or mutualism. So if the flowering plants number is less, or flowering plant community is affected, that will be ultimately affected the other species, that means butterflies or insects. That concept known as the mutualism. Then predators, as you know, the uh, in biodiversity or in forest, there is the different predators which are for their लाइफ दे कैन डिपेंड ऑन ईच अदर. जो प्रेडेटर्स है, प्रेडेटर्स क्या करते हैं, वो दूसरे एनिमल को खा जाते. तो अल्टीमेटली वहाँ पे जो चेन है, दैट चेन विल बी डिस्टर्ब इफ़ एनी वन कम्युनिटी विल बी डिस्टर्ब. यदि जो फूड चेन है उसमें यदि हम एक कम्युनिटी के ऊपर एक कम्युनिटी डिस्टर्ब हो जाती है, तो उसकी वजह से जो पूरी चेन है, the chain will be disturbed. This is also one of the cause of the succession. Then carnivorous plants, carnivorous, that means the in food chain the animals which are eating the meat or flesh, जो एकदम टॉपर मोस्ट फूड चेन, जो इकोलॉजिकल चेन में हमने देखा है, जो टॉप मोस्ट stage है, that is the carnivorous. So carnivorous, if this carnivorous will disturb or imbalance, then that will be affected the succession. Then herbivorous, that animals which are eating the plant materials. So this is also one of the members in the food chains. Then overgrazing, so those animals which are depends on the grasses or small herbs, if the overgrazing or overgrazing is happening, then they will be also affected the succession or diversity. So these are the some developmental factors which are affecting the plant successions. Then fourth cause of the plant succession is the stabilizing. If the community stabilizes at the climax stage, then it not tends to change. It is the start of equilibrium with climatic conditions. It attains stable stage, it do not want to change. So in the stabilizing, if the community will be stabilized, then there is the no any change will be happening in this community. So there is ultimately affecting the plant succession. Means at that stage there is the no chance to the development of any succession or any change. So these are the causes in the plant succession. I hope all of you are understood about this plant succession. So first of all, lastly I repeat again these points. So in plant succession, first of all you write down the definition of succession. So what is succession? Succession is the process of development of new communities in an environmental area, that is the succession. Then you have to mention the definition of Smith in 1945. Then write about the features of succession. So what are the features? This is the directional, predictable, and it is due to the modification of physical environment. Then it increases structural complexity. Also, it increases the biodiversity of man, animals, and microorganisms, and ultimately the biomass. Then, write down about the causes of succession. So, in causes, first cause is the topographical factors. Topographical factors that are the earthquakes, landslides, glaciers, slides, volcanoes, soil erosion, then high rainfall, etc. Then second factor which causes the plant succession is the biotic factors. In biotic factors, that means the living factors. In that, man, animals, some microorganisms, pathogens, predators will affect the plant succession. Then third cause is the इसेसिस और कंटिन्यूइंग फैक्टर, और उसे हम डेवलपमेंटल फैक्टर्स भी बोल सकते हैं. सो दीज आर द माइग्रेशंस, एग्रेशंस, competitions, symbiosis, the mutualism, some predators, carnivorous, herbivorous, then overgrazing. These are the developmental factors which causes the plant succession. And the last cause, that is the stabilization. If the community will be stabilized, then there will be much difficult to change or replace any community. That's why they will be causes the plant succession. So this is all regarding the plants succession. I hope all of you are understood about this plant succession concept. So now I stop here.